Great little interview, some interesting insight, I think, to some of the things Idra had to say and how appropriate that it would get played right before the match with SeleCT. Yeah, so we're going to get started here in just a moment, and really before we do, I just want to give a big round of applause and thanks all the folks that have not only come out here to attend the event, those folks out in the crowd, everyone watching online, the people enjoying the HD pass as well. There's the crowd right there. Also all the gaming websites, the Reddit, NeoGaf, Something Awful, Penny Arcade, Ghost Suit Gamers, Team Liquid, and of course don't forget to upvote the MLG stream article on the gaming section of Reddit. Guys, you're great, and the support that you guys lend to StarCraft 2 and its communities and the teams, phenomenal.
Absolutely. Now, one thing to note about that interview that we just saw, Idra has so much confidence coming into these tournaments, but no player is immune to pressure, and being in the losers bracket is very, very unnerving. In all honesty, if it is a single elimination tournament, you go into each match with a lot more confidence because every single game's do or die, but often players who get in the losers bracket early on think to themselves, I don't belong here. I'm top 16 caliber. And as you heard in that interview, Idra sounded fearless when talking about anybody, and here he is on the verge of elimination, was even sent to the losers bracket by probably the last person people would have expected.
You know, another thing that people should take away from that particular interview is that Idra identified Rhett as one of the biggest threats of the tournament, and based off of how he's played here so far, I mean, I agree. Was saying it this morning, was saying it yesterday. I think Rhett having that extra month of play going to be big, but you know what? We'll talk about Rhett in just a little bit because it is time for EGIdra to take on SeleCT. Day 9, are you ready?
Dude, I'm so pumped. I just have to make sure the players are ready. They had to sit and wait while we played Idra's interview, but now they are ready to rock and roll. It is Lost Temple. Again, every single time we've seen a Thor drop come out. Let's see if SeleCT has decided to change up the strategy. But either way, we're going to do it one player at a time. Give a cheer for EGIdra if you want the reigning champ to come back and win it all. People excited about the Kraken.
And how about a round of applause or your shouts for SeleCT, second place winner of last MLG. One of these players will be going home. Certainly going to be a shocker, but we'll find out who will come out on top.
On the right side of the map as the blue lower-seeded Zerg is EGIdra. The reason he has a lower seed is because SeleCT has performed well in 2 MLGs. Idra has only performed well in 1 SeleCT as the higher-seeded red Terran from Team Dignitas.
And down in the lower portion there at the 6 o'clock, of course, SeleCT, the red, as you mentioned, the higher seed in this one. And I know people might be going, well, how could that be? But based off of the seeding points and the rankings and how it all works, the more tournaments of MLG that you participate in, the higher your seeding rank is going to be. So as we start off here, Idra is going to fly over his Overlord and quickly see that SeleCT is not in that position, so he'll likely go ahead and send his drone around the other way to try to capture that 6 o'clock first and just see what's going on there. So he'll find out here fairly soon. Let's see where SeleCT will send his SCV.
Looks like he's sending a very early SCV directly to the right position, and let me tell you something, SeleCT is going to be very excited to see these positions. Look at how close they are by both air and ground. There's the air place he wants to get to, that high ground that is oh so Thor droppable, and at the front he can easily do all sorts of marine pushes. We saw some great games yesterday between Noosh and Bubba where Noosh was being very aggressive, and thanks to these positions it helped pay off. We've even seen Thor drops from other players, and it looks like Idra is going to get away with the early hatch.
Yeah, it does, and he threw that down at 14 going into his 15th drone. He will manage to get that down, no problem. And we did see in the matchup that Idra lost versus Nazgul, he actually chose to play much safer, not go with that hatch, and actually go with that early pool. And, you know, whether or not that actually hurt him, the bottom line is that Nazgul played really well, just played right into what Idra was doing, and came out very successful in that. We'll see how Idra, you know, and you mentioned it, the losers bracket, you're saying I should not be there. Oh,
looks like he got to walk directly up into that, saw the double barracks opening from SeleCT, and that is just a devastating situation to be in as SeleCT. You do not want to get scouted in that spot. You were just saying that Idra was doing a little bit of a riskier build, and it could have paid off for SeleCT to be able to pick that hatch off right at the outset, and oh no, he will manage to get the drone. That would be a very tragic way to begin the game, but we see Idra sending a drone way, way early, clearly a little on edge about losing immediately.
Yeah, and he did send out this SCV. 2 SCVs out here rallying to the Xel'Naga Tower along with the Marine, and the hatch is just about done. The pool is down. 6 Zerglings are going to have to come out now because he knows that there is this imminent threat that is making his way over to the base, and he'll see it right there in that drone. Drone's going to dance around. It's going to get assaulted there by a few SCVs and just try to dance while he waits for these Zergs to pop.
Oh, 8 Zerglings almost out, and it does manage to get taken out. It looks like SeleCT is continuing to rally, but looks like he messed up that rally a little bit. There's a Marine waiting by the Xel'Naga watchtower, and he is trying to micro back. Let's see if he can pull it off. There are a lot of Marines, but there are way more Zerglings from EGIdra. Look at EGIdra just surrounding and doing a crushing blow to this early push.
Yeah, even better when these guys are running backwards. They're going to be easy targets. He will take out those SCVs. Marines doing a good job trying to get rid of these last 3 Zerglings, and he will manage to hold that off. 6 more Zerglings in production here for EGIdra. Second Queen on the way as well, and even more Raxas coming out now for SeleCT.
Wow, SeleCT going all out with this aggression. Interestingly enough, as long as he's continuing to make depots and mules, he can afford to continue doing this and eventually get a command center for the expansion. Look at this very nice control by SeleCT, getting 2 free lings, and I think EGIdra is quite surprised to see this many more Marines continuing to approach.
Yeah, he definitely saw that second Rax, but he's going to try to get behind these Marines. The other Marines will go ahead and move forward. He'll try to get off the reinforcements as well, and now stuck in the middle. Queen's going to have to come out to try to defend anything he can, going after those low hit points Marines, but look at that great reinforcing there by SeleCT.
Now, if SeleCT canceled some of these Marines mining, he could easily get a command center. There it is. And here comes more aggressive pushing by SeleCT. This is a shocking amount of pushing by SeleCT, and I think EGIdra is taken aback, but oh no, there's the overwhelming amount of Marines. Zergling speed going down as well, and that aggression has been shut down by EGIdra.
Yeah, very nice, and you saw the little method that EGIdra used there. He actually ran his lings past the Marines.
Oh, yeah.
And then was able to, you know, surround them as they had to basically micro the other way. Now, he did move his barracks to make sure that it is hold off here, and still there are so many Marines here that didn't even get a chance to get to the battle, and those will stop the lings from getting any intel from the ramp.
Absolutely. I especially love that you pointed out that very nice micro by SeleCT, because with micromanagement, you're trying to get away from the Zerglings, not just to the left. And people just continue to do this theme of, well, my base is that way, so I'll one move, and we see SeleCT not falling into that trap at all. Very, very meticulous about controlling his Marines, and that Zergling speed is getting close to done, and EGIdra is not paying attention. He's on hold position. Oh no, he's going to take some huge losses, and look at that control by SeleCT, cutting that number in half.
Yeah, we do have 14 more Zerglings come out. Speed about ready to finish. There are no more Marines coming out right now, but we do have another barracks going down and supply depot overload command also going on for that expansion as well.
Oh, that's so scary. If I were SeleCT, I would be pulling back. But then again, I have complete vision of everything both players is doing. And look at that. Oh, what turned out to be a misclick could be a lifesaver, as he does end up seeing that there are a ton of Zerglings. He needs to get back to the ramp. EGIdra's going to beat him to it and gets the perfect surround. SeleCT trying to control a little bit better. The Marines seem to be holding their own reasonably well. Will he be able to pick off all these Zerglings? It looks like maybe he barely might be able to. No, EGIdra does manage to clean everything up, and SeleCT is on the back foot for now.
Yeah, that's right. Only 3 Marines in production. Stim is on its way. Now we've got a Marauder out as well. Over on EGIdra's side, the Spire is going up as the lair did complete during that exchange, so he will be having some mutas coming out here shortly. Obviously, one of the styles that EGIdra's been very comfortable with as of late. He'll keep these Zerglings, of course, with speed. Now, moving out away from the base, doesn't want to give away any more free units, and also a Baneling nest going down.
Now, if we look at EGIdra's natural expansion, look at how few drones are mining here. EGIdra ordinarily has this saturated. The main looks very EGIdra-like, but still trying to find some window in which to add drones. EGIdra is actually doing a very good job of keeping that energy quite low. Look at that Queen is at 30 energy. Very, very, very low at this phase in the game. Bunker going down, and SeleCT is going to have to hope that this attack does a huge, huge amount of damage.
He also has that Spine Crawler at the front. We see a lot of Zerg players putting that there at their natural hatchery. Here comes another set moving out, another army moving out for SeleCT. He may just be moving in position. Bunker will finish. He'll be able to guarantee himself this expansion. It'll be interesting to see EGIdra. He's got a lot of options here at this point. He was able to fend off that early, wouldn't necessarily call it Marine rush. I would just say heavy pressure coming out from there. We do instantly have the +1 attack on the Spire finishing, and 7 mutas about ready to cut the field.
And it looks like SeleCT is going to be advancing forward with a pretty intimidating amount of Marines. Oh no, getting supply blocked. The worst time possible. We do see turrets and depots going down for Select and a surprisingly small amount of stuff out right now in production. Those mutas are not quite done yet. There, the spine crawler is going to fall down. The mutas pop and take some serious hits right at the outset. And there's Banelings. He needs to be careful. He is trapped in a corner, and Micros very well is doing damage. Does manage to take out the queen, is going for the drones now. The Mutalisks are out, but will there be enough? Very nice control on the Marauders, trying to pick off anything he can with them. There are a lot of Mutalisks en route right now, but I think that that was a sufficient amount of damage. If Select can defend, he can do another push shortly, and Idra will be in trouble.
Yeah, that 4 Banelings really helped out there. He's going to, well, let's see what he's going to do. Moving on forward, taking out a Marine who is just exiting to rally with the rest of the troops. He's going to try to take out a tech lab here. Really annoying when those add-ons go, and so he will manage to do that one. And there is also +1 weapons coming out, which makes those big Marine balls even worse. I haven't seen any more Banelings being morphed here, and we got a couple more mutas just back at the base. He'll keep up this harassment. We got a couple missile turrets as well, and here comes another push from Select.
This could be huge. There are really very few units out right now from Idra other than these Mutalisks. Select has to be careful not to stim too early. That was a good time. Everything darting forward. The Mutalisks getting caught on the high ground. Very nice control. The Mutalisks are taking serious damage. Idra is in an awkward spot. He does not have that +1 damage done. And there's the second stim. Idra now up against significantly weakened Marines. And look at him just clean up. But wow, that Mutalisk count from Idra is very low. He only has 6 Mutalisks out right now. Has lost his queen again and is not mining gas at the expansion.
Yeah, losing several of those mutas can put you behind. He's also going to morph some Banes this time. Of course, if he had some Banelings there, that would have probably made a huge difference. He is going to run into these.
Oh, no! Idra loses 3 Mutalisks, and these Banelings are very close to morphing. They do have speed. He needs to be careful. There it is. He's going to stim. Oh, no, speed is not quite done yet, and it looks like he's trying to get him off creep. Speed is about 80% done for the Banelings. This could be huge if Select does win in this position with non-stop aggression. There's the split. He needs to do a little bit better of a spread.
Nice.
Pretty decent. Does manage to take the queen out for the millionth time, and it looks like Idra keeps getting back in the same position again and again, and we have another army trade on our hands.
Yeah, and it's interesting that speed for the Banelings didn't finish before those actually came. So Select is kind of still in the dark as to whether or not that will be a factor, but the Banelings are coming out now. They will be much quicker, much more effective against those Marines. Be careful with those mutas once again. Already flown over. He did force a stim right there, and we're going to have these Marines coming, and he scans. He sees the Banelings, but with that speed splitting once again. Great job, but he makes quick work of those Marines.
Very nice job by Idra there. He's extremely low on units, so cannot really be aggressive, and we see some medevacs starting to pop out for Select, so that will help him quite a bit, but unless he gets an even higher Marine count, those Banelings are going to continue to be such a problem. And even again, look at this expansion for Idra. He's not even really begun to get that third up and running, and Banelings at the front trying to roll in. That one barracks is going to fall for Select. Not the spot he wants to be in, but there is a Marine drop on the high ground as more units from Idra are getting taken out in the main.
Yep, on the high ground, we are going to have a couple of Overlords taken out. They'll be able to get a little bit of short range, possibly take out an Extractor, but he's more worried about what's going on here at the front. A few more Zerglings joining in, and then also those Banes. There will be some nice damage from the Marines on the back. They're going to take out that bunker. And what is he going to do next?
Idra's having a little bit of indecision with the Banelings, but I think he found where he wants to be. Yes, indeed. He does huge damage to all of those SCVs, and there are still more en route. Wow, taking out all those SCVs. Select is going to have to do a ton of damage with this drop, and there is the damage he needs, ripping through all the drones. Idra is distracted. Select with a huge counter push. Are there enough units from Idra? I just don't know. Marines on the high ground and the low ground. Moving in from the front, Idra is out of Banelings. Medevacs come in. Good game.
Wow. There